You've seen it. You're asking yourself, why? Why does this happen? This is one of those moments for me. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the animals involved, and I'm having trouble. Imagine being a male mantis shrimp. Now imagine being controlled by a parasite that turns you into a female and then makes you give birth to more parasites. Wow, this is unbelievable. Let's find out how this happens. Well, there's a reason. A tiny parasite that injects itself into a crab and then takes over its body. So here we have a situation where a tiny parasite is controlling the behavior of a much larger animal, turning it into something that it's not. This is known as endocrine disruption. Sacculina carcini produces substances that interfere with the crab's endocrine system, which is responsible for regulating hormones and controlling various bodily functions. When the parasite first infects the crab, it begins to secrete substances that disrupt the crab's endocrine system. These substances target specific glands in the crab's body, such as the X organ, which is responsible for producing hormones that control reproduction. This is achieved through the manipulation of neurotransmitters, chemicals that transmit signals between nerve cells in the crab's body. By altering the levels of specific neurotransmitters, the parasite can influence the crab's nervous system and behavior. The parasite's chemicals essentially shut down the crab's reproductive system, preventing it from producing sperm or eggs. This level of control is truly remarkable and highlights the incredible adaptations that parasites have evolved to exploit their hosts. By altering the levels of specific hormones in the crab's body, the parasite can influence its behavior and development. The parasite exerts its control over the male crab through the manipulation of the crab's hormonal system. The parasite does this as part of its life cycle. I'll keep searching for ways to bring the most fascinating and surprising aspects of the animal kingdom right here for you. Please leave comments with any thoughts you have. We'd love to hear them. Don't forget to share this lesson with others who might also enjoy it. Thank you for watching. By turning the male crab into a pseudo-female, the parasite ensures that it will be incubated and carried to term inside the crab's body. This strategy allows the parasite to benefit from the crab's maternal behaviors such as cleaning and fanning the developing embryos, ensuring their proper growth and development. Additionally, this manipulation enables the parasite to avoid the risks associated with free living, such as predation or environmental stressors. By using the crab's body as a protected nursery, the parasite increases its chances of successful reproduction. This remarkable adaptation highlights the lengths to which parasites can go to exploit their hosts for their own reproductive success. This process, known as endocrine disruption, involves the secretion of substances by the parasite that interfere with the crab's internal hormone balance. By altering the levels of key hormones in the crab's body, the parasite influences the crab's reproductive system, causing it to develop traits associated with the opposite sex. The parasite essentially hijacks the crab's hormonal system, turning the male crab into a pseudo-female that can carry and give birth to the parasite's young. This intricate manipulation showcases the parasite's remarkable ability to exploit its host's biology for its own benefit. Most parasites aim to exploit their hosts without completely dominating their behavior. However, Sacculina carcini represents an extreme example of parasitic manipulation, highlighting the incredible adaptations that can evolve in the natural world. Not only is the crab unable to reproduce, but it is also forced to carry the parasite's young to term and give birth to more parasites. This effectively ends the crab's reproductive line, ensuring that no offspring of its own will survive. First question: what is happening to the male crab? What's happening to the male crab is nothing short of astonishing. Under the control of the parasite, the male crab is undergoing a complete transformation. It's being turned into a female in terms of its appearance and behavior. This is a remarkable feat of biological manipulation. The male crab's body is being altered to resemble that of a female crab. Specifically, the abdominal plates are widening, a characteristic trait of female crabs. But the changes go beyond physical attributes. The infected male crab starts to exhibit behaviors typically associated with female crabs, such as brooding behavior, where the crab carries and cares for the developing embryos of the parasite instead of its own potential offspring. This behavioral shift is nothing short of astonishing. The male crab is essentially being reprogrammed to act like a female and serve as an incubator for the parasite's young. This level of control over the host's physiology and behavior is truly remarkable and highlights the extraordinary adaptations of the Sacculina carcini parasite. For example, The parasite causes the male crab to develop wider abdominal plates, which are typically only seen in female crabs. These changes are driven by the manipulation of specific genes in the crab's genome. The parasite's chemicals bind to receptors on cells in the crab's body, triggering changes in gene expression. This means that the parasite is able to switch certain genes on or off, altering the crab's development and behavior. And to top it all off, the crab is being kept alive for the parasite's benefit. This level of manipulation and control is truly mind-boggling. And that's not all. That's not something you hear every day. And what's even crazier is that the parasite actually castrates the crab, stopping it from reproducing. If the crab is a male, the parasite will also feminize it. That means the male crab will develop characteristics typically seen in female crabs, such as wider abdominal plates, which are used for carrying eggs and sperm. And this is a special story. I was reading this case study and thinking, wow, this is incredible. This isn't your average animal attack. I didn't know how to respond. A male managed shrimp turns into a brooding female, carries babies to term, and gives birth to a new generation of parasites. What I love about studying what I teach is that I learn right alongside students. We read these case studies together. They're just as surprised and excited as I am when we come across something like this. If you teach long enough, sometimes you get to see things that really surprise you. This is a great example of parasitism in action. These little worms have figured out a remarkable way to exploit their hosts. They're able to enter the body of a male managed shrimp, alter its physiology, and cause it to behave like a female. Their ultimate goal: make the male produce offspring which can then grow into new adult worms. It's a type of barnacle. When I read this, I felt compelled to learn more. This is what I found out. The scientific name for this parasite is Sacculina carcini. It all begins when a free-swimming larva, a miniature version of the adult parasite, finds a crab to infect. Instead, it lives inside crabs, taking complete control of their behavior and turning them into incubators for its young. The larva attaches itself to a vulnerable area of the crab's shell and injects a modified version of itself into the crab's body. This structureless mass of cells then spreads throughout the crab's body cavity, taking over vital organs and directing the crab's energy towards the parasite's needs. And if you're familiar with barnacles, you probably think of these little creatures that attach themselves to rocks or boats. That's not what Sacculina carcini does. The life cycle of Sacculina carcini is a fascinating and truly disturbing process. Now, I want to pause here because this is crazy. The parasite also influences the crab's behavior, causing it to exhibit maternal behaviors such as brooding the parasite's eggs. To make matters worse, the infected male crab will often exhibit maternal behaviors, caring for the parasite's developing eggs and even giving birth to the next generation of parasites. And the crazy thing is that this happens through chemical manipulation of the host's hormones. So let's take a closer look at what's happening inside the crab's body. But the parasite's influence doesn't stop there. It continues to manipulate the crab's hormones, causing it to develop characteristics associated with the opposite sex. These changes are not limited to physical characteristics. So basically, the parasite is able to control the crab's body and behavior by manipulating its hormones and neurotransmitters. In the case of Sacculina carcini, the effects of this manipulation can be devastating for the crab. It's important to note that this level of manipulation is not commonly observed in the natural world. Now, I'm going to ask some questions that may help you understand the lesson better. Second question: how does the parasite control the male crab? Question no. 3. Why does the parasite do this? I hope this background information helps you better understand the amazing animals we've been discussing.